One man is being victimized by our own government. One man whom they fear, yet who millions love. One man who is willing to take the poison arrows of lawfare. One man whose voice has been taken away by a corrupt judge operating in a corrupt system. One man who has been ridiculed and insulted. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who stands between us and them. One man that wants to see America protected again. One man who wants to see America prosper again. One man who understands that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. One man who understands and protects the blessing of life. One man who wants to restore American exceptionalism. One man who once again wants to make America that shining city on a hill for all to see. A place where all the people of the world glowingly set their eyes upon. America. One man who unashamedly wants to make America great again. That one man is Donald Trump.
This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
Good evening, everybody, on a Monday evening, back with you for the second one of the day. This one's going to be a little bit more low-keyed. Well, you might not find it too low-keyed. We're gonna be talking about more of what happened earlier today. In fact, after we got off the air earlier, Karoline Leavitt, she did a quick presser, and then Pam Bondi obviously already was scheduled for her press conference in Memphis, and that came out, I don't know what time, I think maybe about 4 o'clock. So I've got 2 press conferences with you right off the bat here. Now, before I begin these press conferences, I do want to say something. And I want to say something to each one of you. If you're getting influenced, if you're being attacked, if you're seeing so much doom and gloom about Trump support, maybe you don't want to believe that. Maybe you just want to say to yourself, I'm done. I'm over the BS. I'm not going to deal with this crap anymore. Because these people obviously have a concerted effort, and I'm talking about people on the right, have a concerted effort to take Trump down. I can't even imagine the amount of dirt, the amount of corruption that people in the right have been doing for decades, and they're just as afraid or even more afraid of what happens with the Trump unleashed presidency. Remember, all of this is happening. What I'm going to show you today, all of this is happening in the first 10 months of his presidency. They are trying to neuter him before they get into the election campaign after the first of the year. I saw this earlier. I wanted to share it with you. I started to talk a little bit about this with Monica today. I just want to bring it back to your attention. This guy, Jake Sherman, don't know who he is, don't really understand who Punch Bowl is, but he's a few other GOP members, blah, 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 blah. Quote, the entire White House team has treated all members like garbage. And Mike Johnson has let it happen because he wanted it to happen. That's the sentiment of nearly all appropriators, authorizers, hawks, doves, rank and file. The arrogance of this White House team is off-putting to members who are being run roughshod and threatened, whatever that means. They don't even allow little wins like announcing small grants or even responding from agencies, not even the high-profile stuff. The regular rank and file random members are more upset than ever. Members know that they are going into the minority after the midterms. I wish these people had the cojones, the sheer nuts of them, to come out and say that in public. We know we're going to lose in the midterms. I want to know who's on my team who's already predicting a year from now that they're going to lose. I want those people to be man and woman enough to stand up and say that, but they won't. And we don't know if this is even true. How can anybody be saying we're going to lose in next November, a year from now? And if they are saying it, they should expose themselves and leave, summarily leave. It says, more explosive early resignations are coming. It's a tinderbox. Morale has never been lower. Mike Johnson will be stripped of his gavel, and they will lose the majority before this term is out. A quote, he says. Then why not say that? If my team that I'm on is in trouble, I am going to come out and publicly speak. All these people who are low in morale, I'm like looking around, where are they? Who are they? What are they talking about? None of this makes any sense. And of course you start seeing the rhinos come out. The rhinos who have hated Trump from the beginning. People like Eric Erickson. I can confirm that both House and Senate guys despise the White House legislative team and are tired of being treated as just there to do their White House's bidding. Lame duck is here. These guys will either assert their need to be a part of decision or they will quit early. Please, usher this in. Let them quit early. Let them go away. Let them wither into dust. I don't want spineless, weak, limp-wristed people on MAGA. Because you know they're not MAGA. You know that these are people who have been getting their beak into every little thing, and now they're terrified the ride's about to come to an abrupt halt. How do you say his name? Bruesewitz, and Alex Bruesewitz, who is a Trump advisor, he says this: these House and Senate guys, in quotation marks, eagerly leverage the president's name, his image, his likeness, and endorsement to win their elections and fundraise. Yet now they're privately whining to anti-Trumpers like Erickson simply because the White House expects them to step up and do their part. How utterly pathetic. How utterly pathetic indeed. All we want as MAGA, all President Trump wants is to do your damn job for America. Not asking you to break any laws, not asking you to bend over backwards, just do what the people who elected you expect you to do. We all voted to destroy the Democrat Party, to obliterate the deep state. And we can do it right now. All we have to do is break the filibuster, and it's over. That should be an absolute slam dunk for everybody. It would mean no more mail-in votes. It would mean must have voter ID. It's that simple. We are at the doorstep of massive victory, and there are Republicans on the right side who are doing whatever they can to pull defeat from the jaws of victory. It's easy. Nuke the filibuster. When they get back in charge, we're going to be in trouble. Knock, knock. They won't be back in charge, at least not anytime soon. Meanwhile, the Democrats are pulling out every possible trick they know of. Let me ask you a question. If Trump was done in 2026. If the midterms are already lost, if Mike Johnson will have to turn over the gavel, if you feel that confident, why are they going through everything they've been going through? We got to get the Epstein files, and we got to get this, and we're going to try and impeach him, and we're going to try and do this, and we're going to make up this stuff about illegal military orders. Why would you have to go through all of this stuff for the last 10 years? We got to throw him in jail. We got to bankrupt him. We got to take his property. We got to break his son and his daughter. And every single time, what happens? He wins. Talk about insanity. It's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. This whole thing with Letitia James and James Comey, they don't even know what that means. They go right to the media to talk crap because they realize people will cover for them and spread the crap. I ask you to familiarize yourself with the term without prejudice. Without prejudice means, yeah, you can keep going, just not with her. You got a problem with her, Lindsay Halligan. But you can keep doing everything. Here, let me show you from an attorney. An important white pill re Comey, because the original indictment was timely filed against Comey, DOJ has a 6-month period to re-indict, even though the statute of limitations would have run by now had Comey never been indicted. Did you know that? Well, I can tell you a prominent person in the media didn't know that, Mr. Geraldo. He didn't know that. Geraldo said it's over. The statute of limitations has expired. What an idiot. The indictment went forward within the statute of limitations, and now all of this, because the judge said without prejudice, they now can just do it all over again. Nothing is going away. I have a bit of a hypothesis on what's going on. I want you to think big picture, not little picture, big picture. Everybody on the media is saying Lindsay Halligan was haphazardly put into this role. She wasn't announced correctly. She wasn't confirmed. What if President Trump wanted a precedent to lean on and go, you know what? All right, you're right, Judge. She can't do it because she wasn't done the right way. And everybody, even people on the right, Jonathan Turley, a lot of people are saying she wasn't introduced correctly because that, we have to throw everything out. But you can refile. Okay? So if this is the mechanism to get things thrown out of court, if somebody was appointed incorrectly, if there was a prosecutor somewhere that was appointed incorrectly, then ergo, by this ruling, their stuff would have to be thrown out. You see where I'm going here? See where I'm going? That now they've set a precedent, and other things that may be pending in front of other courts brought by other prosecutors is now fair game. Jack Smith and other people. I'll go as far as to say that if this was improper to bring in an attorney, a U.S. attorney, then it's obviously on its face, improper to have auto pen nominations and orders. You can't have it both ways. If you're going to go on a technicality and say Lindsay Halligan cannot do her job because we don't think she was appointed correctly, then what are you doing about this machine sitting on the shelf? This machine on the shelf that executed all these orders. They cannot be valid based upon what you said. I'm not an attorney, but as I read what the order said, it really became apparent to me that Donald Trump's not this stupid. Pam Bondi's not this stupid. They didn't forget to do the paperwork. They didn't try to go around the law. Something here was done intentionally. And it sniffed out another district court judge who said, no, you can't do that because it wasn't done. But what if they did the exact same thing? What if the Democrats for years have been doing exactly the same thing? Prosecuting and doing things to Republicans, Trump, without having the proper appointments in place. You just told us they're all null and void. Don't listen to the naysayers. Because here's what's it could happen. It could happen tonight. I want you to understand what a special counsel is. A special counsel can be appointed by the executive. Trump, Bondi, they can just go ahead and appoint a special counsel. Does it need to be confirmed? Tonight, President Trump and Pam Bondi could, if this is where they're going, could name Lindsay Halligan a special counsel. Doesn't need any congressional approval. She's right back where she started. She's got all the documentation and she could sign tomorrow without prejudice. I'm reinstituting this prosecution. Just like that. Don't be surprised. You see, the surprising part was James Comey and Letitia James running out there in front of cameras, taking victory laps as though something is over. James Comey, former FBI director, Letitia James, state attorney general, they understand what the words without prejudice mean. Now you know the words without prejudice. You now know what those words mean. Since everybody with half a brain now knows what without prejudice means, why would you take a victory lap when it ain't over? That's like, at halftime, hey, we're winning, game's over. No. You're just at the break point. Especially if this was a strategy. Now, Barry, you sound like a Trump homer. You sound like someone who's just saying stuff for Trump. No, I'm reading the document. I am reading the document that says without prejudice. And anybody who's ever been charged, who's ever looked at law, looks at that and goes, what are you celebrating? You're still on the hook. So anybody that you read tonight or you heard videos from, if they said, it's over, they're lying to you. Which then you have to wonder why they're lying to you. And again, you don't have to listen to me. You can go look up the term without prejudice and you will find out for yourself that this thing is far from over. In fact, we haven't even reached halftime. This was, the trial hadn't even started. They tried to stop the trial before it began. This isn't like it's somewhere in the middle of the trial and they've had cross-examinations and witness. No, it hasn't even started. The kickoff hasn't happened. And they're like, nope, we're going to cancel the game. No. We're not canceling the game. We're postponing it. And that's how you have to look at this. It's a postponement. And I would never, ever take a victory lap talking about somebody that I beat them, or this is proof of the rule of law if the rule of law says without prejudice. I think you have to realize that. I will be back in 90 seconds.
back to Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
All right, so I'm getting ready to show the Pam Bondi presser. It's a longer presser than Karoline Leavitt. It's about 26 minutes. And there's a whole lot of stuff in there that she's talking about, including what's going on in Memphis. So without further ado, let's listen to Pam Bondi from about 4:30 today.
Thank you all for being here today. And thank you to our HUD Secretary, Scott Turner, for your partnership in restoring American communities. Our goal is not only to make Memphis safe, but make Memphis beautiful again. And we're grateful, Secretary, for your partnership. I also want to thank Governor Bill Lee, Senators Marsha Blackburn and Bill Haggerty for their unwavering support to make Memphis safe again. We want to thank Congressman David Kustoff, who's here in the audience, Speaker of the House, Cameron Sexton, and our U.S. Attorney, Michael Donovan. There's Michael. Thank you so much. All of our other public officials who are here, thank you. And our U.S. Marshal for Tennessee, Tyrese Miller, you have been working tirelessly. Thank you. I also want to thank U.S. Marshal Director Gadi Serralta, the FBI, DEA, ATF, Treasury Department, DHS, and the National Guard, I see our guard back there, thank you, along with all the members of our state and local law enforcement, our sheriffs, our police. Thank you for everything you're doing to make Memphis safe. That's our objective. The people of Memphis deserve to be safe. Every American deserves to be safe, to go to the grocery store, to take their kids to school, to be able to go to church on a Sunday without fear. In 2024, Memphis had the highest violent crime rate, the highest in the entire country. Memphis's total crime rate was 344% higher than the national average. No longer. Thanks to the leadership of President Trump and our dedicated men and women in law enforcement, this surge in Memphis has dramatically dropped crime. The numbers tell the story themselves. They are undeniable. The last 56 days that we have had this surge, compared to the same 56-day time period a year ago, shows murder is down 48% in just 56 days, sexual assault down 49%, robbery down 61%, overall serious crime down 45% here in Memphis. We are reversing the trend. Since President Trump ordered federal law enforcement officers to search Memphis, 121 children have been located and returned to safety. Those are 121 children who were reported missing and endangered. They have been recovered. More than 3,100 arrests have been made, including 327 known gang members, 501 firearms seized off the streets of Memphis. We have filed federal charges against approximately 150 people. Michael, is that right? 100, as of today, 157 federal charges have been filed. Tolerating crime is a choice. This administration chooses law and order and making America safe again. President Trump chooses to protect the good people of Memphis, every neighborhood, and every family. Unfortunately, the safety of our community has been compromised by some judges who continue to obstruct our efforts. I wish they are all watching this, and I hope they're seeing what we're doing here in Memphis. We will not coddle violent criminals at the expense of law-abiding citizens. We will use every legal means in our disposal to make America safe again and to keep Americans safe. In Memphis and in Washington, D.C., and every city across this country, our message is clear. If you're committing violent crimes, if you're committing any crime, we will find you, we will bring you to justice, and we will protect the law-abiding citizens in this country. I want to thank all of our agents again. We're here today because it's Thanksgiving week, and we know all of you are out there protecting all of us. You're not with your families. Many of you are not going to be with your families on Thanksgiving. And we are so grateful for your service and your sacrifice. We know there is no such thing as a normal day in the life of a law enforcement officer. When you go to serve a warrant, you don't know what's behind that door. When you stop a vehicle, pull a vehicle over, you don't know what's behind that window. And we are so proud that we have a president who has taken the handcuffs off of our law enforcement officers so they can do their jobs, and we are putting them on the hands of the violent criminals. The results that you see in this city are a result of that leadership and all of us working as a team. I cannot thank everyone in this room enough for what you're doing. And now it is my honor to introduce not only my fellow cabinet member, but my dear friend, the Secretary of HUD, Scott Turner.
Well, good afternoon to everyone. It is indeed a great joy to be here with you, and I want to thank my dear friend and colleague and cabinet partner, Attorney General Pam Bondi, for her leadership. Pam, thank you so much for how much you care about the people of America and this great country, in particular here in Memphis. And thank you for your vigilance in upholding our nation's laws, and specifically the reason why we are all here today. That's for making our streets and our neighborhoods and our communities safe. I also want to thank Governor Lee and Senators Blackburn and Haggerty for your commitment to improving the lives of people in Memphis and in all of Tennessee. And also thank you to Director Gaddy Serralta and the U.S. Marshals and the FBI agents who are on the front lines every single day to restore safety to our streets in America. And to all the public servants that are here, thank you for your service to this great state and to your country. At HUD, we do believe that public housing should be safe. We believe that, and that's our conviction. A safe community starts with safe housing. If the housing is safe, the community is safe. And we want to take good care of the most vulnerable people in our country. And that means making sure that residents in HUD-funded housing can live their lives in peace and security, free from the horrors of violent crime. That's why HUD today we're announcing a new HUD crime hotline to allow the residents of public housing to call the HUD office of the Inspector General, the OIG, to report criminals, illegal aliens, sex offenders, human traffickers, and those guilty of gang activity, drug distribution, and fraud. We're spearheading this hotline right here for the residents of Memphis, Tennessee.
All right, so understand what he just said right there. They are basically saying, don't call your local 911. Instead, since you're in HUD housing, since you're basically in a project, call us. Call us and report what you're seeing inside your apartment complex, inside the projects. Give us the call. So the next thing you have to be thinking is, if they're calling HUD to report drug dealers and traffickers and gangbangers, who is going to answer that call? Who exactly is responsible at that point when you get a call at the HUD hotline, hey, they're dealing drugs here in apartment J? What happens? Why are they bypassing 911? You would think you would call your local police. That's not what they're saying. They're saying call HUD. Very interesting.
This crime hotline is the latest in a series of action HUD has taken to help the American cities and neighborhoods be safe, including of those who live in HUD-funded housing. The Memphis Housing Authority serves more than 9,700 households and receives $107 million to administer federal rental assistance programs. And for all of those that are listening right now, residents of Memphis public housing, or those who might be concerned about the safety of your friends or family who live in Memphis public housing, for all of you, this announcement is for you. And here's our message. Protect your home. Protect your family. If you see it, if you hear about it, report it. And here's how. You can call 1-800-347-3735 from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Central Time. Or you can submit a tip online at any time through our website. And here it is, hudoig.gov/hotline. And this website is monitored 24/7 in real time. I'm going to say it again. The hotline number is 1-800-347-3735. And the website address is this, hudoig.gov/hotline.
So you have to wonder, because the guy standing directly behind him, I believe that is Bill Lee, the governor of Tennessee. So I don't know. I'm not a police officer. I don't know if Maximus is here, but how are they bypassing 911 and saying, call us? And then once they do call, who is going to respond?
Law enforcement personnel stand ready to assist you with coordinated efforts with our friends at the DOJ and the FBI and state and local partners. This hotline is part of President Trump's effort to make our city safe again. That strategy includes the Memphis Safe Task Force started by President Trump, which is breaking the grip that violent criminals have had on this city, as the Attorney General alluded to, and returning power back to the people and the citizens of Memphis. We've already seen great progress, which you'll hear more about. Since this operation began in October, the task force has arrested more than 3,000 violent fugitives, including up to 12 suspects of homicide and more than 300 known gang members, and much more.
3,000 arrests, 12 murderers. This is incredible. And why wouldn't you want your city cleaned up? Why do you not want the government, since you're not doing it, to clean up your city? I don't know if you've seen the news in New York City, but they've lost control of neighborhoods. Last night, somebody burned up a car and was doing wheelies, and when the people came out to stop it, they beat the hell out of them. Insane.
These numbers translate to lives and homes and futures protected. Again, we care about the future of America, the lives of every individual and collective Memphis and Tennessee citizens. But this would not be possible without our great law enforcement, and many of you are here today, and our military members. So thank you from me, from HUD, from Attorney General, and our entire administration. I've spoken to many who have traveled near and far to be part of this effort to make our city safe, true patriots, and great Americans. And I hope that this new hotline is another tool to help this in this effort. The hotline will allow residents of public housing to have their voices heard so their homes can be safe. It will help us to crack down on violent crime and drug distribution, fraud, human trafficking, and the influx of illegal aliens. We'll clean up our public housing so that they can fulfill their function of sanctuaries for the most vulnerable people in our country, where American citizens can get a temporary hand up and then gain independence from government help. Specifically, American citizens, that's who we want to help. Illegal aliens have no place in public housing. It's outrageous that people who should not be here come across our borders and now usurp spots and housing units that should support American people. Establishing this hotline is an important step in fighting this injustice for both the people of Memphis and for Americans nationwide. And I'm grateful for this opportunity to be here with you all today to make this announcement and this next step in the work that's already underway, and truly to restore safety and sanity in Memphis today. God bless you.
I find it interesting when I hear people say, I don't trust Pam Bondi, I don't like Pam Bondi, she worked with Pfizer in Florida. I mean, most attorneys have prior clients. The one person who matters about Pam Bondi has kept her in the office. That's President Trump. I don't care if a podcaster doesn't like her. It means nothing at all. Why? Because I don't know what people's agendas are. I don't know what they're thinking. You see, over the next 2 months, we're going to hear some things from people, and they may be pushing another candidate. It's hard to tell where their mindset is. When Ashley and I were talking about, what guests should we bring on, I don't know at this point, because what they may be doing in their own best interest may not suit what President Trump is going to be doing. We see that already. There are going to be other horses getting in the race for the midterms, and some of these horses may determine, we don't want to be associated with Trump. You're seeing that already. And you're also seeing people who want to back some of these other horses. That's where the difference is. People are either getting compensated or their eyes are going to over here where this candidate might be doing something in 2026. And so over the next 2 months, as people begin putting their campaigns together, you are going to clearly see who's with Trump and who's on their own.
And next, I would like to introduce Senator Marsha Blackburn, who, before I even took office as Attorney General, was calling me constantly about making Memphis safe. So was Senator Bill Hagerty. And thanks to that, our FBI director, Kash Patel, came in and did basically a mini surge, working with our great chief and our great sheriff here to get the numbers down before the official Memphis surge took place. So, Senator Blackburn, thank you for your tireless partnership and fighting to keep Memphis safe.
Thank you, General Bondi. And indeed, Senator Hagerty and I were on this before they were sworn in, A.G. Bondi and Kash Patel. Here is the important part of this. Assembled before us today, we have a great team. And there are over 30 agencies, local, state, and federal, that are working together. The goal is to make Memphis the safest city in the United States. That is the goal, and we know that is attainable. When you look at these results that have been achieved in 56 days, yes, indeed, we want Memphis to be the safest city in the country. We know this is going to be a long-term effort. We know it doesn't happen overnight, but it is such a wonderful example of how Memphis can be the model for the rest of the country on how you come together as a team, how you fight violent crime, how you don't stop and don't give up, but keep getting these results. So as we have Thanksgiving week, to each and every agency, to our National Guard, of course to our chief who is leading this effort, Tyrese Miller, our U.S. Marshal, and we have our U.S. Attorney, Mike Donovan. We also say thank you to the governor, to the speaker, for the support that the state has given to make certain this is a successful effort. And we thank the citizens of Memphis who have called our offices, who have spoken up, and who have said thank you for the work to fight violent crime and to make Memphis safe. Thank you all.
Thanks.
And Senator Bill Hagerty, who ditto, you've been right there with Senator Blackburn. Thank you.
Thank you, General Bondi. Secretary Turner, thank you for being here as well. Gaddy, it's great to see you. Governor, thank you for your leadership. Senator Blackburn, thank you for your partnership. And Congressman Kustoff, thank you for all the great work you do with us in Washington. We have a very unique opportunity here in Memphis today, a unique opportunity in Tennessee. It's an opportunity to work as a team to restore safety and justice in one of the most amazing cities in America. We've had a problem with crime in Memphis since I was a kid. I grew up in Tennessee. A lot of us were worried about traveling in Memphis when I was a boy because of the concerns about crime. It's something that really expanded way beyond control with the pandemic. And now it's an opportunity for us to get our arms around this. It's required cooperation beyond anything I think we could even articulate today. Senator Blackburn said over 30 agencies are involved in cooperating. But I think most important, I want to thank our local leadership here in Memphis for working arm in arm with us. Our mayor's office, our police chief, our sheriff have all been the best partners they could possibly be in helping us bring a crime situation that was leaving Memphis at the top of the league tables back in 2023, the #1 city for major crimes, homicide in America on a per capita basis. We are changing that, and we're changing the stars of the people in this city. And we are going to make Memphis the safest city in America. We're going to be a role model for the rest of the cities in the United States, and I hope that many city leaders across the country will take a look at what's happening here today. And I think they'll see that this is the key, this is the formula to make their city safe as well. This is going to have repercussions well beyond the borders of the state of Tennessee, and I'm so proud that we're making it happen here in Tennessee. One great challenge remains ahead of us, and that is to sustain this success. And to do that, Governor Lee and I have talked about this extensively. Local leadership will play a big role. Speaker Sexton, you're going to have a big job in this, but as a member of the Appropriations Committee at the federal level, we're going to be doing everything that we can to make certain that we have the proper resources going forward so that we're able to maintain the safety of Memphis, to bring back the greatness of this wonderful city. We're seeing it happen right before our eyes, and we're going to sustain it. So thank you all very much. And again, General Bondi, thank you for being here, and I want to thank overall President Trump for his leadership allowing all of this to happen. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Senators. And since the day this was announced and before, Governor Bill Lee, thank you. You have been an incredible partner working with us, and I hope some other governors around the country are watching right now. You know who you are. Call your fellow governor, Bill Lee, and he'll tell you what's happening in Memphis when you work together, when you work with Mayor Paul Young, when you work with a great police chief and a great sheriff. We can make a tremendous difference. It is my honor to introduce your governor of Tennessee, Bill Lee.
Thank you. Thank you, Joe Bondi. I'm very grateful to you. Everyone has been called out for gratitude. I just want to say, as the governor of this state, as a seventh generation Tennessean, as someone who's lived here my entire life, who has loved the great city of Memphis, whose grandparents lived 6 blocks from the river, and as one who knows how remarkable Memphis has been and still is today, but understands the weight of the burden that crime has placed on this great city for far too long. This is Thanksgiving week, and this is a governor who has a deep debt of gratitude to everyone who has come together to make this happen. We're in a historic moment for Memphis, Tennessee. For those who haven't known how remarkable this great American city is, they now are beginning to understand it. And when we are a not only remarkable city, but a safe city, as has already begun to happen in this state just in a couple of months, the world will see what can happen when partnership comes together. Sheriff Bonner, Chief Davis, Mayor Young, local leadership that partners with state resources, our Tennessee Highway Patrol, that I'm so proud of the work they've done here, our Tennessee National Guard, our Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, for these local and state resources to be backed up by the DEA, the FBI, the U.S. Marshal Service, the ATF, General Bondi and her team. When I met with President Trump and sat down and talked about this plan, and he said to me that he wanted to return great American cities to a place where they were safe for their residents once again. He indicated to me that the full resources of the federal government would be laid upon this city to partner with the state and the locals. I wondered if all that could happen. He had a vision for that. He insisted that it could, in fact, take place, and we're seeing that unfold before our eyes with murder rates cut in half and crime rates in Memphis at their lowest level in 20 years. This is an example of what can happen when people set aside all their differences and focus on the people of Memphis, Tennessee, the mothers who live in those communities, the businesses that have their capital at risk every day, and the people who live in Shelby County who know just how remarkable this place is and how important it is that we succeed at this task, and it's happening. There is a scripture where Paul says, I thank my God in all my remembrance of you. And this is a governor in Thanksgiving week who will thank God as I remember every law enforcement officer, every soldier, every director, every leader that is utilizing their resources and their giftings to make this great American city safe again. Thank you very much.
Governor, I can say on behalf of all of us, Tennessee is blessed to have you. Thank you. It is now my honor to introduce our U.S. Marshal, Gadi Serralta. As you know, Gadi led the surge in Washington, D.C., and has had remarkable success. And now, of course, he's here in Memphis. He stepped up to take the call from President Trump once again to make Memphis safe. Gadi Serralta.
Thank you, AG. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. I'm happy to be joined here by Attorney General Bondi, Secretary Turner, Governor Lee, Senators Blackburn and Hagerty, and the others that have been announced before. I want to thank you all for your leadership and your support for the Memphis Safe operation. I want to thank the Memphians for being so supportive of the task force. I have heard so many stories of Memphians telling our deputies about how happy they are that we are here and they truly feel that the city is safer. The appreciation does not go unnoticed, and I am thankful we are working in a city who appreciates the work that we are all doing. The kindness and thanks from Memphians makes it a little easier for each person working in this operation who is spending time away from their own families. It is an honor to stand before you today as the Director of the United States Marshal Service and the Chairman of the Memphis Safe Task Force. I am very proud of everything the Memphis Safe Task Force has been able to accomplish so far. Over 3,000 arrests as of today. We have arrested some of the worst, criminals wanted for murder, drug trafficking, sexual predators. We have been able to locate 121 missing children, as you heard. How remarkable is that, huh? 121 children and teens back home with their parents and guardians. No longer on the streets or in danger. We work beyond borders to recover missing children. The task force has been able to make Memphis a safer place to live, work, and visit. We have seized over 500 firearms. 500 firearms out of the hands of criminals who shouldn't be in possession of those firearms. I'm incredibly proud of the work that the United States Marshal Service and our federal, state, and local partners have done here. We have come together with 31 different agencies and departments to create what is known as the Memphis Safe Task Force. We will continue to work together for the good of Memphians and for the good of the country, wherever that may be. We will keep moving forward to restore safety and bring justice to those who have fled the law for far too long. Law and order is being restored in Memphis. Thank you again for your support and for being here.
So we have horrible weather, as you've all seen, horrible weather. Everyone behind me has to catch a flight. We are also here to go out and help serve dinner to all of our law enforcement before they go out tonight. But we will take a couple quick questions if you have them, but please be respectful of the fact that we have to get out there, and lots of flights will be canceled if we don't get out before this big storm hits. Gates, do you want to?
David, what's this?
Okay, so question about Memphis first.
Sure.
A couple of topics. On Memphis, Washington, D.C., check. Memphis, check. What's next?
It's a good question.
Where is that?
Well, we hope a governor reaches out like Governor Lee reached out to President Trump. Let's see. If you want to make your city safe, call President Trump. But we'll see. You know what? Regardless of whether you're going to cooperate or not, Donald Trump has made it very clear he's going to keep all Americans safe, whether you're helping us or whether you're not, as an elected official. And here in Memphis, we're blessed to have a mayor. I wish we have our deputy mayor here today. I wish the mayor could be here with us today. But we all talk to the mayor so much. And Chief Davis and Sheriff Bonner, thank you for everything you're doing, and that's what it's about. So we hope some other cities who are in desperate need of help reach out to us. And we are talking to a couple mayors now, I will tell you that.
Wonderful.
Probably would be unexpected, so.
Okay, and then if I could just get your reaction to the James Comey with
Sure.
James cases being dropped today. Back in Washington, James Comey put out a video. He said this matters most because a message has to be sent. The President of the United States cannot use the Department of Justice to target his political enemies. Your reaction to the cases being dropped into that specific message?
Sure, we'll be taking all available legal action, including an immediate appeal, to hold Letitia James and James Comey accountable for their unlawful conduct.
What is your reaction to his statement?
I'm going to keep going on this. I'm not worried about someone who has been charged with a very serious crime. His alleged actions were a betrayal of public trust. So.
Thanks, Attorney General Leavitt. Could you be a little more specific on what your message to Democratic governors and Democratic mayors is based on the success that you've seen in cities like Memphis that we have here? And are you optimistic that any of them are watching right now to learn the lessons from the successes of the Memphis Task Force to try and bring this to their cities ahead of Thanksgiving and ahead of the holiday season?
Sure, we want to help all governors. We want to help all mayors who need President Trump's help. Look what we've done in D.C. Look what Donald Trump's leadership has done right here in Memphis. You don't have to be of the same political party. Clearly, this is about keeping Americans safe. If you want to talk to anyone, go out and talk to the residents of Memphis who have been very vocal about what has been done by the leadership of all the people behind me and sitting in this audience to make their great city safe again. We want to help anyone, regardless of political party. Alana.
I have an on-topic and an off-topic,
Sure.
if you'll allow me. The arrest from the task force has been a strain on the criminal justice system here and a compounding problem at the local jail. What is the federal government doing to support the Memphis criminal justice system?
You want to take that? Yeah, I'm going to let Director Serralto take that. He's been working on that.
Yeah, so a couple of things have been done. First of all, we're taking every case we can federal. Our U.S. Attorney here, Mike Donovan, is a pioneer in taking these cases federal. The other issue that we have is on the state court side. It seems like the cases, the criminal cases, are taking too long to see their way through the wheels of justice, if you will. So we're open to working with the state prosecutor's office in order to shorten that period of time and get some of these cases flowing. So if you don't speed up the process, it's going to continue to back up. But I'm going to tell you what the answer is, right? Because we can't put them through the criminal justice system does not mean that it's a free pass to commit crimes. So we're going to keep arresting folks. They keep committing crimes, we're going to keep arresting them.
Alana, you had a follow-up, and then we've got to get outside and get to.
Just real quick,
Sure.
if I can ask, what happens to U.S. Attorney Halligan now? Will she remain in her position while the appeals process plays out? And does that threaten to upend other cases in the office if you guys don't win an appeal?
All right, so that question, in case you couldn't hear it, the lady asked, what happens now to Lindsay Halligan? Lindsay Halligan is the attorney that they put in the U.S. Attorney's prosecutor role against Comey and Letitia James, who the judge says today was invalidly assigned. So that was a question.
It does not. We have made Lindsay Halligan a special U.S. attorney. So.
What does that mean? Wait. She said that there's 20 seconds left to go here. She's a special U.S. attorney that they've made her. And I'm like, wait a minute. Did he name her special counsel? Is that what the mechanism was? Is she not? I don't know. You just heard her say, and of course the people in the audience have no idea what to follow up.
She is in court. She can fight in court just like she was, and we believe we will be successful on appeal. And I'll tell you, Lindsay Halligan, I talked to all of our U.S. attorneys, the majority of them around the country, and Lindsay Halligan is an excellent U.S. attorney, and shame on them for not wanting her in office. Thank you all.
Interesting that we have named her a special attorney. She didn't use the word special counsel, but I find it very interesting. Very interesting. We shall see. I want to take a second before we get to Karoline Leavitt. I want to go ahead and give out some silver. I'm going to do 3 ounces today. One of the things here is you signed up. And as you signed up to win an ounce of silver, we have your contact information, but we can't send you anything if you don't respond to Ashley and the people at Lear. They're going to need your address so that they can send it to you. So make sure if you signed up to win a free ounce of silver that you can actually get your free ounce of silver. So with that being said, let's pick a winner. Let's winner chicken dinner here. Click the button. Where's the next one? And we draw the winner. And the winner is chosen. And the next winner is Darlene Rose. Darlene Rose, you are the next winner. Darlene Rose, you've won one. Let's pick another one real quick here. We're going to randomize it and just come up and pick somebody. And the next winner has been chosen. And her name is Allison Craig. So we've got 2 ladies, Allison Craig and Darlene thus far. So there's 2. Let's go ahead and pick another one. Let's randomize it and go down to draw the winner. And we have the 3rd one at this point. And this time it's a guy, Mark Oliver. So Mark Oliver, Allison Craig, and Darlene Rose, you each have won at this point an ounce of silver. Congratulations. Look for Ashley to get a hold of you. And if she can get a hold of you, she will then get that over to Lear and they will get that to you. So congratulations. You're on your way to prosperity. Make it happen. So I've got this heavy duty thing, even though I'm down here in Florida, because you know what it is. It's bearskin time. Bearskin hoodie. You guys already know about this bearskin hoodie. Well, if you've been waiting to get yourself one, now is the time. Perfect gift for Christmas is coming up. It's officially hoodie season. Cold mornings, windy days, surprise snow, and right now Bearskin is running their biggest deal of the year. Ready for this? 60% off for this Black Friday. You know, the day after Thursday, Thanksgiving. 60% off on Black Friday. 60% off and on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Now, this isn't some old fleece. This thing is built with 340 GSM bearskin fleece, 10 pockets everywhere, and a rugged athletic fit that actually looks good on you. It looks good and I feel good. Plus, if it starts pouring, you can zip on the heavy storm rain jacket and instantly level this up to a full waterproof protection. You'll get free U.S. shipping. So you get 60% off and free shipping in the United States from their warehouse here in the United States, and gear that will last you season after season. This thing is heavy. I think people who have one will tell you and attest to it. I have to say, it's, other than my Trump hoodies, this is probably the next best thing. But I'm a little biased. So here's what you need to do to get 60% off. Text. Don't email. You don't have to call. Text Barry to 36912 on your phone. Text Barry to 36912 on your phone. That's simple. Pick up your phone for a 60% off. Go ahead and text Barry to 36912, and they will text you back a link so you can lock in your 60% off before the sale disappears. Don't wait until the weather gets really bad. Grab a bearskin now while this Black Friday deal is live. And one more thing, when you support Bearskin, you're also supporting the Fallen Outdoors and the Hope for the Warriors Veterans programs. So you're not just buying great gear, you're backing a cause that matters. Grab your Bearskin while this Black Friday deal is live. Text Barry to 36912, 36912. That's all you got to do right there. Or you can go to BAER.skin, love that, /Barry. All right, talk to you in a second.
Hey everybody, Barry has a couple things to let you know about. Fanfare is giving away a free fishing trip. We're going to fly you and a guest down to South Florida for a 3-day, 2-night getaway. You'll go on a deep-sea fishing trip with Robin. And Barry and Robin will take you and your guest out to dinner. To enter to win, go to fanfareshop.org/fishing. It's easy and it's free to enter. Second, if you'd like to join our private group on X, go to fanfareshop.org/group and join 18,000 fellow patriots. It's a safe space for patriots as it's curated and moderated. Again, that's fanfareshop.org/group. One more thing, if you'd like to be a part of the show, submit a 60-second video by going to fanfareshop.org/submit video. Last, but certainly not least, if you'd like to request a free Bible, please go to fanfareshop.org/Bible. We have a long list, but we're getting them out as soon as we can. Again, that's fanfareshop.org/Bible. Thanks for being a part of the Fanfare family. Now back to the show.
Welcome back to Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
And I want to let you know, we're not running some sort of gimmick here because my woman can fish. Check this out. This past weekend, she had her sister down here on Saturday, and it said this was all about wife caught a huge, giant barracuda. She don't play. Look at the teeth on that thing. That thing has got like monster teeth, and she's holding it up with the first mate. And she went out. It was a gorgeous day out on the ocean down here in South Florida. She went out and she caught that massive fish. Awesome. So she's just not doing it because she's going to host you. You're going to have to compete with her. She's going to get something. I'm pretty sure if Robin goes out there and puts a pole in the water, she's going to bring something in. And that's my baby, holding that giant fish with the big teeth. I'm not that good. I know the first mate was holding the face of the fish, so he was making sure it didn't snap around and bite her. But whew, man, that's a big fish. And no, we didn't eat it. We released it. She definitely released that fish, and she didn't bring it home and try to mount it or anything. But yeah, I just wanted to show that one because I'm proud as heck. And the other thing is, let you know when she goes, she's really fishing. She's not being dainty on the boat. Get the bait. Let's do this. One more spot I got to run here. Again, Black Friday is here and CB Distillery is going big. Their biggest sale of the year is on right now as well. Everybody's got a sale going on. You can save up to 60% on everything using the code RUMBLE. But hurry, the deal is only around for a few days. Look, if holiday stress has you running on empty, you need to hear about CBD from CB Distillery. Notice they said stress. Even the doctor, when Midas got sick, said, hey, you might want to hook him up with some, edibles. Okay, we'll talk about that. They've got natural, clean solutions for stress, sleep, mood, focus, pretty much everything you need to actually enjoy the holiday season, especially if you're going to be alone. And you get all your holiday shopping done. Give the gift of CBD for better sleep and treat your gym buddy to a pain relief stick for after workouts. And don't forget to grab a little calm for yourself. I mean, I like it, the one that makes you go to sleep. I love that one. And I also like the one for pain myself. This is the perfect time to stock up. Save up to 60%. So both Bearskin and CBD Distillery, 60% off. Just head to cbdistillery.com and use the code RUMBLE. cbdistillery.com and use the code RUMBLE. One more time, cbdistillery.com, use the code RUMBLE. Unfortunately, specific product availability depends on individual state regulations. All right, now I got that out of the way. Let's go and listen to what Karoline Leavitt had to say. And hers is much shorter. We only got her butt for like 10 minutes, but she ain't taking any crap. So let's listen to this.
Thank you for reading the bottom.
Karoline, may we get an
Is the White House supportive of the...
I'll answer that in a question, but go ahead.
Is the White House supportive of the Pentagon's investigation into Mark Kelly, and what do you make of his response that it's just intimidation?
The White House is supportive of the Department of War's investigation into Senator Mark Kelly, and I think what Senator Mark Kelly was actually trying to do was intimidate the 1.3 million active duty service members who are currently serving in our United States Armed Forces with that video that he and his Democrat colleagues put out. Senator Mark Kelly well knows the rules of the military and the respect that one must have for the chain of command, and that all lawful orders are presumed to be legal by our service members. You can't have a functioning military if there is disorder and chaos within the ranks, and that's what these Democrat members were encouraging. It's very clear, and not a single one of them, since they've been pressed by the media, and I'll give you guys credit for that, can point to a single illegal order that this administration has given down, because it does not exist. They knew what they were doing in this video, and Senator Mark Kelly and all of them should be held accountable for that.
Karoline. All right, so she said something breaking right there. That they've obviously looked into how they're going to approach this whole thing with Mark Kelly and these other people. Something I didn't know. I haven't been in the military. Excuse me. All orders are presumed to be legal. And for you to even infer that they are illegal is evidence of potential sedition. So if you don't know something's illegal, you can't say he might do it. We heard he might try this. Nope, you can't do that. And Mark Kelly should have known.
No, because Lindsey Callaghan was legally appointed, and that's the administration's position. I know there was a judge who is clearly trying to shield Letitia James and James Comey from receiving accountability, and that's why they took this unprecedented action to throw away the indictments against these two individuals. But the Department of Justice will be appealing very soon, and it is our position that Lindsey Callaghan is extremely qualified for this position, but more importantly, was legally appointed to it.
Steve, reaction to those indictments being thrown out?
On Ukraine, is President Zelensky come to the United States this week? Are there a couple of points you mentioned on the Fox interview, a couple of points required on?
Yeah. So there are no plans at this moment in time. As you know, things can change very quickly around here, so we'll keep you all apprised, but there's no meeting scheduled right now. As for where we are, I spoke with Secretary Rubio at length. I spoke with the president as well. Everybody inside feels optimistic about what happened and transpired yesterday in Geneva. Secretary Rubio, Special Envoy Witkoff, the whole team really worked through the points of that 28-point peace plan that the United States authored with input from both sides, the Russians and the Ukrainians, and ultimately the vast majority of these points have been agreed upon. The Ukrainians have worked on language with us together, and you heard that from their delegation directly yesterday. So we feel as though we're in a very good place. Of course, we have to make sure that all of these points are agreed to, and then of course we're going to have to make sure the other party in this war, the Russians, agree to them as well. But I think the president deserves a great deal of credit for the amount of energy and effort he's put into trying to bring these two sides to an end of this war. He wants to see this killing stop. As for any deadlines, he wants to see this end as soon as possible.
Is the president more determined to go after Tish James and James Comey?
Go ahead.
Is the president more determined to go after Tish James and James Comey?
Excuse me. I'm answering a question from you.
You looked at me. I'm sorry.
I turned and looked at you because you're yelling. I will take a question from your colleague, and then I'll take your question too. Okay? Go ahead.
What are exactly the points of this agreement that they are still working on?
I don't want to detail sort of the technical talks that are happening right now, but there are just a couple, and we're confident that we'll be able to work through those.
The president put pressure on Putin or Zelensky if this doesn't work?
The president's been putting a lot of pressure on both leaders for this entire time. We've been talking with both sides. He's been talking to both leaders directly for 10 months now. So yes, you can expect that pressure to continue. The president wants this war to end.
Karoline, is the president more determined now, since the judge's ruling today, to go after James Comey and Tish James, and if so, why?
I wouldn't say he's going after them. I think the president is more determined than ever to see accountability in this country, yes, and to correct the wrongs of the weaponization of our justice system that we saw under the previous administration and Joe Biden.
Venezuela. Are we entering a new phase of Venezuela, and what does that entail?
Well, as the president is so good at, I'll try to be just as good. I'm not going to broadcast any actions that may or may not be happening with respect to Venezuela. I know I've been very clear about the administration's position, as has the president and his national security team. We view the Maduro regime as being illegitimate, and the president has been very satisfied with the successful strikes against narco-terrorists and foreign terrorists that are illegally trafficking drugs towards the United States of America. He's not going to tolerate that, and you can expect to see those strikes continue.
What
was President Trump's reaction to those indictments against Comey and James being thrown out?
His reaction was, we've seen this before. We've seen partisan judges take unprecedented steps to try to intervene in accountability before, but we're not going to give up. And I know that the Department of Justice intends to appeal these rulings very soon, if they haven't already. I may have missed it.
Well, Karoline, one question on Venezuela. Is there any plan, meeting for this week on Venezuela? And another one, a clarification on this weekend. Because the president was asked about the former Brazilian president being arrested, and he mentioned that he spoke with this gentleman. Did he speak with Bolsonaro the day before he was arrested?
Not to my knowledge. I don't know if that call took place or not. It may have. I can get you a firm answer on that, Raquel. I know it's of great importance to you for your reporting. As for meetings on Venezuela, there's meetings on a range of topics inside this building all of the time. And the president is constantly apprised of what's going on in the world, what's going on in the news, and he's very well read into all of the things that his team are working on.
Karoline, please. You would not go into the sticking points of the disagreement between the two parties in the Ukraine peace process, but how flexible is the president in coming to a deal, and will the Europeans be part of a final negotiation with Zelensky?
I think he's been quite flexible already. We've been watching this war go on for 10 months. He's talked to both leaders countless times. Our team has engaged with both the Russians and the Ukrainians extensively. As I said, there is a sense of urgency. The president wants to see this deal come together, and he wants to see this war end.
I wanted to ask you, is it MAGA to support American workers being replaced with H-1B visa holders? Are Americans not capable of filling most of these positions?
Who supports getting American workers getting replaced?
I know the president mentioned that he wanted to bring in some workers that he could eventually send back in regards to...
The president does not support American workers being replaced. You are mischaracterizing what the president said. The president wants to see our American manufacturing industry be revitalized better than ever before. That's part of what he's doing with his effective use of tariffs and cutting good trade deals around the world. That's why he's recruited trillions and trillions of dollars in investments into our country. Those are creating good paying American jobs right here at home. As for the H-1B visa issue, the president has a very nuanced and common sense opinion on this issue. He wants to see if foreign companies are investing trillions of dollars in the United States of America and they're bringing foreign workers with them to create very niche things like batteries. He wants to see that at the beginning to get those manufacturing facilities and those factories up and running. But ultimately, the president always wants to see American workers in those jobs. And he's told these foreign companies that are investing here, you better be hiring my people if you're going to be doing business in the United States. So there's been a lot of misunderstanding of the president's position. Michael.
Karoline, is President Trump asking for Xi Jinping's help and putting pressure on Putin to help him?
Devin. I just want to be precise, Congresswoman. Should members of the U.S. military or the intelligence community, for that matter, obey what are clearly illegal orders if in their mind what they're being told to do is something?
That's the most convoluted question ever. Should they be forced to follow what clearly are illegal orders in their mind? What? At this point, the media is so tied up they don't make any sense. Wait, these soldiers aren't lawyers, and it's a presumed to be a legal order. They can't do that. They're going to end up in cuffs.
Illegal. Should they still go ahead and follow those rules?
You're asking an enlisted person for their opinion on what they think is legal or illegal. That's a pretty slippery slope.
Just look at who asked the question. You got Wolf Blitzer. Wolf Will Blitzer sitting there who ain't never seen a gang fight, and he's talking about should they just go ahead and say no, we're not going to do it. You're an idiot.
Wouldn't you agree with that? So that's an interpretation. And what the president has done is not illegal, right? So I would say follow the chain of command. Follow your commander in chief. That's the oath that you took. Because
look at the woman from CNN. That's the look you have when you got absolutely nothing. That's the look on your face when you're just like, we're getting our butts kicked up and down the street here. This guy's just doing things left and right. We can't keep up with him. We don't know how to keep up with him. I don't understand what's going on. Go ahead and read the teleprompter and say, hey, is it okay if we don't follow clearly illegal orders, at least in their minds?
if you leave everything up to interpretation, you can interpret things one way. I could interpret things another way. And that is a very dangerous situation to put this nation in.
How do you not see that? Speaking of dangerous situations, I forgot to show you this because this is pretty interesting. Eric Doherty had posted this. Senate Republicans refusing to toss out the blue slip tradition. You read that correctly. The Senate Republicans are refusing to toss out the blue slip tradition, allow the James Comey and Letitia James indictments to be thrown out by a liberal judge. Chuck Grassley refused to get rid of it, so Democrat Senators Warner and Kaine could unilaterally block confirmation of Lindsey Halligan, and it hasn't moved forward. So the judge had the ammo to claim Halligan isn't legally in her position and threw it out. Understand, they've got this rule, it's not a law, rule that says if you get a couple pink slips or blue slips, we can't move forward with the confirmation. Yet the Republicans could indeed just toss that rule out. It means nothing. But Chuck Grassley allowed Tim Kaine and who was the other one? Tim Kaine and Mark Warner to block it, and they put out blue slips. They're making stuff up as they go, and she could not get confirmed correctly. The Republicans stopped her from getting confirmed. Unbelievable. But this is worse. Julie Kelly, she went and dug the order up. And consider what this means. The federal judges, not the president or attorney general, have the authority to appoint a U.S. attorney after an interim attorney has expired and until a Senate-confirmed replacement is put in place. Here it is in any order. If an appointment expires under subsection C2, the district court, and only the district court, may appoint a United States attorney to serve until the vacancy is filled. So these judges are doing whatever they possibly can to stop Trump. Period. Hey, we're the ones now who are in control of this. We shall be the people who shall appoint these people. And let me find the most crazy libnut, prosecutor to get rid of this case. I thought no one was against the law. I thought it was about the rule of law. No, she's inserting herself into this and saying, the judge is saying she is the one who shall appoint the prosecutor. That's where we are. That's where we are, people.
Number 6.
Did you consider, why were you not part of this video?
All right, this is very important. I want you to listen closely here. I'll stop it a couple times. It's like 30 seconds, 40 seconds long, but it's extremely important what he says here. He messes up big time. Huge.
Yeah, actually, so I was part of the first video. The second video is by the time the script got...
What second video? There's another one out there. He just said it. And I froze it real quick when I heard it. Wait. I couldn't do the first one, but the second one. What second one? They're now sitting on another one of these crazy videos that they didn't release, probably because of the blowback they got on the first one. So there's a second one out there somewhere. But he's not done.
To me, and it was in the middle of a lot was going on. I just didn't have time to actually record it, but I'm 100% in alignment with them altogether. This stuff happens. You just happened not to end up being a recording. There's really no other 3D chess to this.
The logistics of human life.
Yep.
All right, fair enough. So what message would you send?
So there's a second video, and there's a we put this together. So he's admitting, and has admitted, it was a choreographed, organized takedown directed at President Trump and directed at causing problems with the military. And there's a second video out there. And now I bet these people are terrified of what that second video may say. Who knows? We may never see it, but now they've given prosecutors, Pete Hegseth, the military, to go after that and say, we want that second video.
Number 5.
Good afternoon, John. Warnings from the FAA, leaks in the press about covert operations inside Venezuela, and potentially dropping leaflets over Caracas. This all appears to be an effort by the Trump administration to enter into some kind of psychological operations and psyops against the Maduro regime. Some lawmakers think this goes even bigger. This is about getting Russia and China out of the Western Hemisphere.
Ooh. Say what? So you got all these much of the fleet heading into that area. And not only is it basically to surround Maduro and isolate him, it's to get the other ships and other influences out of there as well. Russia, back off. China, don't want to start nothing, won't be nothing. They are isolating Maduro and telling China and Russia to back off. They want Maduro something fierce.
We ought to be making sure that our interests are respected in our own hemisphere. That includes having aircraft carriers in our own hemisphere. It also means taking out narco-terrorists who are finding new ways to poison Americans.
John, today is Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro's birthday. Friday, he's celebrated by attending a rally of college students, attendance likely mandatory, in defiance of the buildup of U.S. forces in the Caribbean, where now about 30% of all deployed warships are on station, ready to strike the Maduro regime should they be ordered.
Oh, but is it a legal order? Legal? I can't tell. I'm supposed to blow up Maduro's palace. Can somebody tell me if this is legal? Should I hit this button? Do you think this might have had something to do with what's getting ready to happen? Do you think at this point they know that 30% of the fleet is out there by Venezuela? So now we all know, everybody now knows, 30% of the United States fleet is right there at Maduro's doorstep, getting ready to blow him to kingdom come. But we don't want narco-terrorists to be killed. We don't want people to get blowed up. This isn't an act of Congress. You just can't do it. So it might be an illegal order. You might not be able to blow up Maduro. Maduro's our cash cow. We can't have you just getting on some boat somewhere and flying a drone over his palace and blowing him up. That would seriously inhibit my cash flow. So I think what I need to do is get together with my other crooked, corrupt Congress people, and let's create a video to sow division and confusion in people who are part of that 30% of our fleet already around Venezuela. As I continue to tell you, there are no coincidences. These people know exactly what they were doing, and they knew why they had to do it right now. Continue.
Now, here in Trinidad, located just 7 miles from Venezuela, the guided missile destroyer USS Gravely recently stopped by for fuel and perhaps some liberty for the crew. Warships like Gravely are armed with Tomahawk cruise missiles. That warship saw action against the Houthis in Yemen, firing Tomahawks and shooting down an incoming missile at a very close range using her close-in weapon system, or CWIS, as some of our viewers know. U.S. Marines recently concluded a week-long training exercise here in Trinidad. They continue to train in the Caribbean. The top Democrat on the Senate Intelligence Committee says he's wary about military intervention inside Venezuela.
Historically, the United States'
intervention in Central America or South America has not always rolled out the way we'd hope. Maduro was a bad guy, frankly, under Biden. When the Venezuelan people voted in overwhelming numbers, Biden should have put more pressure on getting Maduro out then. It was a mistake.
So for 4 years you did nothing? It was a mistake that you didn't try to rectify? And now that President Trump is trying to rectify it, you're saying, no, don't go there. Don't hurt Maduro. He's got lots of cash and oil. Lots of oil. Remember, when Biden was playing games and he drained our strategic petroleum reserves, got us down to nothing, he was then buying the oil from Venezuela. That makes no sense at all. Why would you drain our oil to buy it from Maduro? It makes all the sense in the world, because at that point, whatever we're spending to buy from Maduro, and that money gets over into Venezuela, you have no idea where that money goes once it hits Venezuela. And we had to do it because he depleted the strategic reserves. And now you've got people in Congress saying, hey, ignore the orders to blow up Maduro. There is no coincidence.
So perhaps a reference there from Senator Warner about the Kennedy brothers trying to oust the Cuban leader Castro during the Cold War, perhaps the CIA-backed coup in 1954 that took out Guatemala's leader. Senator Warner also complains he's yet to receive a briefing about what the Trump administration intends to do here in the Caribbean against the Maduro regime, John.
If he gave a briefing, how fast would Maduro have access to it? How quickly would these corrupt, seditionist six tell everybody what's going on? Probably instantaneously. You can't trust any of these people. None of them. They all have to be blocked out, and they all have to be taken down.
Number 4.
I want to ask you about Democratic Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett. Last week, as you know, there was a failed censure effort over her text with Epstein during an oversight hearing in 2019. He was a known sex offender. She acknowledged Epstein's influence in her line of questioning during that hearing on this show when we had her on, but would not say it was an error in judgment. Here's how you defended her on the House floor last week so our viewers can listen.
However ill-advised it may have been, she took a phone call from one of her constituents. They've arranged...
This was back when we were paying attention to Epstein. You know, like last week? 2 weeks ago? When's the last time we've been talking about this? It just kind of went away.
A Democratic member for taking a phone call from her constituent, Jeffrey Epstein, in the middle of a hearing. And of course, I don't think there's any rule here against taking phone calls in a hearing.
He actually went on the floor of Congress and said, oh yeah, she was taking phone calls from one of her constituents. He just happened to be the guy the hearing was about. And they don't find anything wrong with it. Nobody says there's any. At least CNN's asking about it.
And to be clear, she initiated the text chain on that day. But are Democrats losing the moral high ground on the Epstein issue by defending her as you have?
Well, look, we've been demanding a complete release of the file, and now they wanted to discipline her, censure her, because she'd engaged in that text exchange with a convicted criminal.
Oh, gosh. Now you're starting to see why these people are the way they are. They can't answer a question. It's put directly to her. Jasmine Crockett lied when she said that Jeffrey initiated the conversation. It has since been proven that she, while she was sitting on the panel, she was the one who initiated it. Somehow that quietly didn't get disseminated. Nobody knew about that. That was confirmed to be a lie. Meanwhile, Jasmine Crockett goes out there and says whatever she wants. You have to be extremely careful. I'm not talking down at you, but there are so many people lying directly to you. It's incredible.
Number 3.
I sort of wanted her to keep talking. I mean, what foolishness. This is a woman who won a year ago by 0.3 of a percentage point in Michigan, by 19,000 votes out of 5 million cast. And she speaks like this: I want the people of Michigan, Arizona to know their senators are interested in sound bites and social media screeds rather than facts and figures.
She's talking about Elise Slotkin. No, there was no fraud there. She won by this much. After they had to wait all night, and she won by this much. Oh, yeah, by the way, she used to work for the CIA.
I talked to 2 CIA officers who said that this is a part of a larger hoax, and what they're doing here is they're trying to condition the country to prepare for something bad that's about to happen at the hands of Donald Trump. It's straight out of the CIA playbook. It's a destabilization operation where you get people to mistrust each other. And you do this because she's an analyst. And as an analyst, she would make sure what propaganda operations were successful, which ones weren't. So she knows what works. So the first part of the video, you establish authority. I'm CIA, I'm military, you need to trust us. Second part of the video, they introduce the threat. And the threat's not foreign, the threat's domestic, the threat's Donald Trump. And then
See, that's the insidious nature of what they did. And then they enlisted the media to amplify the already corrupt message that they had put together. They sat down, they coordinated it, they scripted it. They knew specifically the words they wanted to say, how they wanted to say, when the cuts would be made, how they were going to go after people. Don't give up the ship. Illegal orders. It is a color revolution. If you don't think we are literally in the midst of a civil war, I can't help you. And unfortunately, a lot of the people involved in this civil war are people we think are on our side. And I think if you begin looking and you're watching, especially on X, maybe, you know what, if you can't discern, now might be a time to back off of X. Because there's a lot of people out there with different agendas who are doing nothing but posting 100 times a day the worst stuff they possibly can find against Trump and his administration. Again, if you want to use X, I urge you, like I do, use X Pro. X Pro, you can actually just put list in and you only see the information from the people you have come to trust. That way you won't see all the bat poop crazy stuff. You want to follow Jesse and Greg Gutfeld and John Solomon and, J.D. Vance, then you can just put a list together, and I only want to see information from these people. I will discern the truth and veracity by just listening here. As soon as you go into the full feed, you can't tell anymore. You literally can't tell.
At the end, they introduce the solution. What's the solution? You resist. You say no. But they don't give an option. They say this is an obligation for you to do. Now, she is being run because she didn't come up with this herself. She's a Brennan acolyte, and you usually don't have congressmen and senators doing anything together. They kind of hate each other. So in order to organize this had to have had some sort of handler telling her what to do. And it was risky because nothing like this has ever been done in the history of the country. And you can even tell because the media was skeptical and they couldn't answer the question. So they hadn't even been read in on the operation. You see them fumbling and stumbling. And I'm glad that the U.S. military is now investigating this guy, Kelly, because this is what we expect from Donald Trump 2.0. You can't have the deep state interfering with a duly elected presidency and get away with it. You got to draw the line in the sand and you have to make examples out of people.
Absolutely. And that's what the media is going to fight against. That is what the Democrats are going to fight against. You have to, at some point, begin making examples out of people. And I'm so happy that the Department of War has decided they are going to spearhead all of this. They're the ones who are going to investigate. Why? Because they'll be able to keep it secret. There won't be any leaks. Won't be any stupid district court judges. None of that. By going after Kelly, and I don't want to say going after, by investigating Kelly to see what the involvement is, they have all the prosecutorial powers they need, but they can do it in secret. And then when they decide to charge him, hopefully, whatever trial he gets is going to be a military tribunal. It won't be with these district court judges. Just watch in the next couple of days. They're going to be freaking out. They are going to be freaking out that Pete Hegseth even mentioned military tribunal.
Number 2.
There will be articles of impeachment filed, and there will be articles of impeachment voted on in the Congress of the United States of America. We are not going to just file. We are going to have every member of Congress take a stand. This is a time for all of us to take a stand. You vote your conscience. My conscience tells me that I must vote to impeach a president who would put the lives of members of Congress at risk, a president who disrespects the Constitution, who doesn't believe in the separation of powers, who doesn't believe that people have a right to peacefully assemble and protest, a president who wants to be an authoritarian, who is devolving our democracy into a dictatorship. He must be impeached. He must be convicted. He must be removed.
I let that play and I didn't interrupt because I wanted you to hear everything he had to say. He didn't say, this is one of the few times he's actually said impeached, convicted, removed. You're President Trump right now. You're sitting in the Oval Office. Melania's sitting there. Maybe Barron's on a video game or something. And you hear this. And you've just been through a year prior of hell, where they've tried to take your property, tried to put you in jail, tried to kill you. And this is the part of the equation that I have not understood why people don't realize this. Because the question I keep asking, that even the people on the right won't answer. I even asked Mark Mitchell, if we all can see what they're going to do, if none of us are taken aback or surprised the fact that they want to impeach him and put him in jail, remove him, if all of us can see that, do you not think he can see it? Do you not think he knows? Do you think he's just completely oblivious? Is he eating Mapo and cream of wheat like Joe Biden? Doesn't know what's going on around him? Of course not. Of course not. He knows the intention of these people. He knows that if he doesn't get stuff done, his butt is going to be in jail. They're going to strip him of everything. They're going to take his money. They're going to take his property. They're going to go after his family. They're going to go after his business. He knows this. So if you're in his position and you know that these people haven't given up, you're still in their crosshairs. They will do anything to take you down. What would you do? And I never hear any of the panicans ever say that, oh, Trump's numbers are down. Oh, the midterms are a loss. There's no way, blah, blah, blah. He's going to be impeached. And I'm thinking to myself, are you idiots? You must be an idiot. You must be some of the people who drive and park on railroad tracks. Because you don't know the train's coming. So you're just going to sit there until the headlights come at you. You're an idiot. Because that's what you're saying Trump is doing. You're saying Trump has driven his car, parked on the railroad tracks, and doesn't see the train barreling down. That's insulting to me. That should be insulting to you. When you hear people, like certain people I've had on the show, keep saying, oh, it's going to be a wipeout. It's going to be awful. Oh, Trump's lost. There's nothing he can do. He's lost the youth vote. And I just say, is there something that could happen that could change it? No, can't change it. It's over. It's over. And I think to myself, everything you're saying, Trump knows. There is no way that he doesn't see the train coming down the tracks. And so unless you believe otherwise, unless you think that President Trump is oblivious of the freight train barreling down on him, you have to then conclude he's going to do something about it. There's no ifs or ands or buts. There's no other option. When people say, I don't trust Bondi, I don't trust this person, I don't think anything's happening, I just want you to keep coming back to that question. Do you think he knows what lies ahead? I mean, it's almost like, I'm not equating him to Jesus, but Jesus said, yeah, this dude's going to come up and kiss me, and he's got 30 pieces of stone. I know this is what's coming. I don't have any doubt. I've already been told this is how it's going to go. Jesus wasn't surprised when Moses came up and gave him a kiss. So I am not at all blaspheming and saying, I'm just saying, do you not think President Trump sees the train barreling down on him? And if you do you think he's just looking the other way as that train is coming full bore at him? Of course not. If you have any brains about you, you know he knows, and he knows the ramifications. And because he knows those ramifications, because he knows what will happen, you have to think he's smart enough. You voted for him. You support him. He's smart enough to say, that ain't going to happen. I am going to stop this train dead in its tracks. It is not going to run me over and my family and my businesses and my friends and everybody else, other MAGA. I'm going to stop this barreling locomotive. We just don't know when. But I have no doubt that people ask me, Barry, why are you so pro-Trump? Because I'm like, he's not stupid. None of us are that stupid. What I find stupid are the people who say, oh, this is going to happen to him, as if he wasn't going to stop it. It takes more stupidity to just keep posting, oh, it's over, it's terrible. Oh, he can't possibly win. He's lost a use vote. Oh, it's affordability, blah, blah, blah. And I keep asking people, you don't think he knows that? And they don't answer it. Well, I don't know if he knows that. What do you mean you don't know? What? After everything we've seen, in fact, on July 13th, many of you were here, what do you mean he doesn't know? His wife knows. His family knows. Hey, man, they're going to come for us if we don't do something. All right, we're going to take care of it, just not ready yet. We're not at the red wedding stage. If you guys watch Game of Thrones, you know what I'm talking about, where everybody got locked in the room. It's coming. Barry, how can you be so convicted on it? I know it's coming because the alternative means he's done. And I know he knows, you know right now, you're saying to yourself, and well, ask yourself, yeah, he knows it's coming. Is there anybody in the chat who doesn't think it's coming for him, that they aren't going to try to do anything if they get the chance? Is anybody surprised that any of this stuff is happening? If you're honest, everybody's going to go, no, they've revealed who they are. They get up on stage like Al Green, we're going to do this. Okay, I take you for your word. Thank you for letting me know. Oops, you shot me. Yep, okay, I take you at your word. I know what you're going to do. So what kind of man would stand up knowing what was coming at him and just let it happen? There's only one man who could do that because he had to, and that was Jesus. Trump ain't Jesus. He can stop this. That's where my confidence is. That's why I'm unwavering. That's why I ignore the people. That's why Ashley isn't booking any of these people for interviews, because they have something else on their agenda. They have given up the ghost for some reason that they think it's not going to happen. And if I ask them all that one question, so you think he knows, right? And if they don't say yes, then you know they're full of crap. You can go around next. Do you think Trump knows that they're coming for him? No, I don't think he even sees it coming. He's getting bad advice. What advice do I need to have? I got shot. So I'm asking you to understand that is the question you can ask anybody. Hey, Jimmy, just want to ask you. I know it looks really bad. I know everybody on X is saying something. But don't you think Trump knows that this is coming for him? And just listen to what they say. They're going to expose themselves. Oh, no, he's too stupid. I don't need to talk to you anymore. Oh, no, he's got bad people around. I don't need to talk to you anymore. Because the answer is unequivocally, hell yes, he knows what's coming. If I know, and you know, he knows. That's all I'm going to say about it. Just keep that in your mind moving forward. So the last thing I want to show you, I articulated it early in today's early show, and it pissed me off. 2 days we're going to be celebrating Thanksgiving. And all the way back when I was in high school, we gave away turkeys to people in need. And I remember at 15 carrying turkeys. I had like 6 of them in my hand. They're like, wow, you can carry 6 turkeys? Yeah, man. You want to see me carry more? But anyway, the news came out. What are you guys doing? Hey, we're here from the football team, and we're going to help feed the poor people who ain't got no food. We go to a Catholic school. As part of what we do is help people in trouble. And you give out the turkeys. And you make the news. People, wow, look at those altruistic young men. They're doing everything because of God and to help people. And we got tons of positive press. So here we are 2 days away from Thanksgiving. And why are we not seeing any Republicans out there doing it? Why are we not seeing people helping poor people? Why is it that the person I'm going to show you, who's very strong on social media, and I despise her, she's killing it. Watch this.
Number 1.
So today we have a full community operation at Throgs Neck. We've got all the boys from St. Raymond's that are out here volunteering. What sorority's out here today? Are you guys here as a sorority? Yeah. What sorority? Zeta Phi Beta sorority. Zeta Phi Beta's out here. Grow NYC. We've got Angela Torres out at Throgs Neck. So the whole community out here today, pitching in, handing out food. So thank you, everybody.
So she's out there giving out turkeys, making videos, TikToks. Everybody can see, whoa, she cares about the community. She's out there in the community. She's out here doing it. This crazy bartender who is a socialist is out here giving food to people who need it. And I can't find any videos of any Republicans doing the same thing. I mean, I'm giving turkeys out. I'm not doing it in the street because it ain't cold here. We just go to the food bank and just give the turkeys away. Why are these people doing this and the Republicans aren't? Have you seen any Republicans saying, hey, listen, I'm bringing turkeys to the food bank right now? Nope, I haven't seen it. If you've seen it, let me know. I'll put it out there.
Starting our day out by Castle Hill in the Bronx. We're doing turkey distributions all day. We're starting in Castle Hill.
No. I want to say something. I understand this. Our community does it. We don't brag. No, I'm not talking about you personally. I am not talking about you personally. What you're doing is very commendable. I appreciate you and I applaud you because, yes, you are correct. We don't brag about it. We just do things because, from our heart. We want to help people. I'm talking about from a political perspective. She's not doing it because she wants to help people. She's doing it because she's getting her face out there and people are seeing her hand these turkeys over and she's getting the food to people because she understands getting out there and getting in the community and being around people. So I wasn't talking about individually you or me or anybody else. I'm talking about politicians. She's a public figure.
We'll be in Throgs Neck. We got halal turkeys in Throgs Neck. And then we'll be in East Elmhurst, Queens with First Baptist and Rev Young. I want to talk to you all about all the contributions you've made. We have been able to provide over, 1,600 turkeys? Mm-hmm. 1,600 turkeys in the Bronx. And then all of your support and fundraising has raised an additional $20,000 above our raise goal, which we are giving 100% to local food pantries to help feed families this Thanksgiving. So taking you all with me, we're breaking down some boxes as you can see right there, and we are loading trucks. So let's go.
what, as much as I despise everything she stands for, she understands marketing. Yeah, you or me, it doesn't serve us to, hey, listen, I'm being magnanimous. I'm giving away all kinds. No. Not talking about you and me. I'm talking about a politician. Whoever she's running against, she's stomping them into the dirt. The community has got eyes. They will remember, oh, she was out here giving out 1,600 turkeys. 1,600 turkeys. 1,600 households are going to be fed. And she got the money through crowdsourcing. 1,600 turkeys. You know what kind of rapport a Republican could have done by just simply going into the hood and giving out free turkeys? There's got to be some close races that are expected in the midterms. She knows well in advance, let me start seeding this right now. Obviously, I care for you. I'm giving you a turkey. Where are the Republicans? Where are the Republicans? What are you doing? How are you going to compete when, I'm sure she won't be the only one. You watch over the next few days, you're going to see that. You'll probably even see Ilhan Omar out there giving out turkeys to Somalians. Where are the Republicans? You cannot let the opportunity to show you care about people and let it go by the wayside. You can't do it. You have a golden opportunity right now. You've got 2 days to hit the streets and get some people some damn turkeys. Will they raise to the challenge? Probably not. Probably not. I hope some of them do. Because one of the things where that disconnect is too many people feel Republicans are out of touch. Too many of these people think boomers are out of touch. So what about a boomer Republican going in and helping a family with turkeys? It's so easy. You don't need a lot of money. She raised $20,000. Most of these politicians probably have $20,000 in a slush fund and go out there and give away turkeys. That's all you got to do. And it just bothered me and ticked me off. I'm like, look at her. I despise her. I despise what she stands for. And she's using this opportunity to get her face out there even further while Republicans can't wait to hit the golf course. It's crazy. Schumer is the turkey. What are we doing? She's doing a job on marketing. She wants to be reelected and continue that big salary. Yeah, I believe it. Are you pulling our leg, or do you know the rest of the story? Well, the rest of the story, people are saying that a lot of the money that she got in was from Act Blue. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the FaceTime, the fact that she's giving away 1,600 turkeys. Let other people dig in to find out where the money went and all that kind of stuff. The people who are getting the turkey for Thursday don't care about that. That's what I mean by that. Political theater works. We're seeing it. You saw it just now with the video from all the Democrats. They know how to get messaging out there. The Republicans are lacking. It ain't hard. You just got to do it. I just feel like sometimes they don't care and they're fighting Trump so hard. I've never seen any Republicans give to the poor. Ooh, wow. Wow. Yes, she looks good in her followers' eyes. Yep, you're right, Nancy. It is 100% a photo op. It is 100% a photo op, which means every single Republican can be doing the exact same thing. Every single Republican. She is buying votes. She's trying to make us forget the Biden invasion and chaos. I could not afford a turkey, so I'll have a bologna sandwich for Thanksgiving. I don't need a handout. I understand that. I'm not saying you specifically do. Another question, is it the people who needed it or the people who protest with it? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter for the messaging and the optics. How many turkeys did Les Nessman think could fly? You're crazy. Y'all crazy. You're right. Republicans should be serving food at missions on Thanksgiving. I say this because what did you hear Pam Bondi say about an hour ago? We got to hurry up. We got to end this press conference. Why? Because we got to go out and serve food. I've been searching. Please tell me you had a camera there with you serving food to people. Haven't seen anything. It matters because of optics, especially the Republicans. Cheaper turkeys is the Republican contribution. All right. Well, anyway, I just wanted to do that. That was the 10 thing that I put together. But in any event, President Trump has to know what's happening. He knows specifically what these people are doing. All right. SB hit me up and said, go to Truth Social, which I shall. I mean, here it is, nearly 10 o'clock, and the boss is still posting. What did he put out there? What is this? He's still posting. I'm trying to see. SB, is this the one you're talking about? The inflation? Yeah, 13 minutes ago. All right, so President Trump posted this on Truth Social. The chart below shows a clear chronological pattern. Trump 1.0, almost no inflation. Biden, runaway inflation. Trump 2.0, low inflation. Media conclusion, Trump created an affordability crisis. And there's a graph. You can see the apex of the graph was during the Biden administration. But they're saying, it's all his fault because there's a lot of stupid people out there. Thanks, SV. Thanks for getting that over to me. Oh, man. It's absolutely nuts when you see people do stuff like that. All right, so I'm going to do some super chats, and then we'll get out of here, and we'll look at what's going on tomorrow. I think what I'm going to do on Wednesday night, I figure a lot of people might be home visiting with family or things of that nature. We'll do a short bit of a show on YouTube on Wednesday, what it will do, and then when we jump over to Rumble, which hopefully it's working, we're going to show the movie It's a Wonderful Life. Now, many of you have obviously seen the movie It's a Wonderful Life because it's a wonderful movie and it's a holiday tradition. But I know there's a lot of people here who might be alone and, just chatting through that wonderful movie, I think would be fantastic. To spend it with a few thousand people and chatting as you're watching It's a Wonderful Life, I think would be absolutely awesome. So it's Wednesday night. I've got an interview with Alpha Warrior. He'll be on, and then we'll show. So I'll do a show on YouTube, short one. Then we'll jump over. I'll talk to Alpha Warrior. Then we'll just watch It's a Wonderful Life. I think it's one of my favorite movies. Anyway, I love it. Absolutely love it. Something to do with real estate in that movie too. we could definitely talk about that. So there's a lot to do with real estate in that movie. George Bailey. Yeah, I absolutely love it. All right, so let's go ahead and do super chats. There was a super chat in here early. I can't see it now. Let me just, oh no, there it is. It's the first one. I couldn't believe it when I opened this up and went, are you serious? Right there. Okay, hold on. Let me bring this over. Wanted to show this. I got to shrink this up a little bit so it can fit. All right. From Nathan Hardcastle, thank you very, very much. Barry, can you, or at least let the family know this? Put it in Grok, it might help. Can you hypothesize as best as you can for me why the group use a letter to represent the theories, their beliefs, and ideology? What is so significant about the letter, the 17th letter? You're going to make me do that. I will do that tonight, and then we'll talk about it. Thank you very, very much. That is a very interesting question. Let me go ahead and copy that so I can actually do that myself. And I love it when you guys give me homework. Absolutely, absolutely love it. Thank you very much for that. Very, very much. Now I'm going to have to go do some homework myself. Steven, we need Alpha Warrior back on the show. He'll be here Wednesday. As of right now, I think she hasn't confirmed for Wednesday night. A Mega Drone, they are not simply deceiving, they are the deception. Agreed. Kung Fu, GOP equals Uniparty, not MAGA. Absolutely. David Yeoman, make MTG great again. Drew, I was able to purchase 66 ounces of silver from a private dealer today for less than market price. Oh my goodness. I got to give you the old clap up on that one. 66 ounces? Oh, good for you. Stray shot. I got to ask, is the young lady holding 2 red fish a crewmate and going to be with the group you're talking about? That just might encourage you to come down. No. The picture was provided to us. I don't know who she is. Stephen Anderson. But is that boat, though? Imagine Biden's speaker, our Karoline is beautiful and smart. Yes, she cuts well, too. Stephen Anderson. Again, El Salvador Bukele has the answers. Put them judges in jail. First thing, Doge, everything in our government. I agree. They have planted millions into frauding the Dems. Diane McCowan, I want my country back. You and me both. Cutting edge. The hell is gone. Break loose with this, people. Okay? Stephen, Elmer Fudd has been quite quiet lately. Governor Waltz. Yeah, with all this stuff about the Somalians, he indeed has been. And Bush imported Obama. Cash on to their plan. Cutting edge. 1991. Exactly the time of the memorandum of the Muslim Brotherhood into America. I did not know that. I did not know that. Chilled. Save America, trust Trump, and never give up hope. God is king. Absolutely. Midwest Mom. Anyone from Minnesota in the Berry family? Your thoughts about the Somalians? Hey, so if anyone, I love it when you guys hook up with each other like that. Anybody from Minnesota want to get a hold of Midwest Mom and she wants to talk about the Somalians. Rot Dog. Maybe a show with Alpha and Josh Reed. I don't know who Josh Reed is, but Alpha will be here on Wednesday. Kinley, Venezuela is the Ukraine of BRICS. Brazil is neighbor. Yep, they are. Stephen Anderson again. Norm, Eisen, Hillary are behind this 100%. I think even bigger than Norm. Peter Marco closed off the Panama Canal, Chinese Gulf. Don't forget Kerry Lake, Arizona's corruption. Yeah, she got cheated out of it. What do you want? Huh? Hold on a second. What did you come in here for? Because everybody went to bed, and you want to be up here again so everybody knows you're doing okay. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm good. Okay. Green is losing his seat as Jasmine is redistricting. Yep, she's going to lose it. Elon said, checkmate. Election night might have faith. Cutting edge. Even if something is happening to him now, J.D. Vance knows what to do instantly no matter what. Full Andrew Jackson. I agree. Kinley, Trump was not supposed to survive. You're right. Nicholas Lamonicus, how are you? Barry, I trust Trump. He knows what he's doing. I completely concur. Nathan Hardcastle, I say Republicans preach a lot, but they do not lead by example. Kinley, I see people in chat criticizing AOC of doing the turkeys. At least she's boots on the ground. GOP is losing the messaging war, no matter how true she is. That's what I'm talking about. Lady Gizmo, happy Thanksgiving to you and the family and mods. God bless our country. And Donald J. Trump. Neo, thanks for Bibles. Thank you to your team. All unbelievable traitorous acts they are. They must be held accountable. And Jeffrey, thank you, Barry, for everything. God bless you and your wife. Thank you very much. My boy's home. My boy's home. He's feeling good. How you feeling? I want to go to bed. I want a treat before I go to bed. I got to give him his pill. He's on prednisone to keep him stress-free. I still say the edibles are the thing to give him. As long as he's near me, though, he's really, really stress-free. I'm so glad he made it and that everything is okay. You're okay, right? You want to say hi? Hi, everybody. Hi, buddy. That's my buddy. All right, everybody, I'm going to go to the after party and go give this dog his medicine for the evening so he can go to bed. Thank you guys for tuning in. 2 shows today. I greatly appreciate it.
you.